was going to say, according to the DSM-5,
I don't even know what that means.
you are autistic.
Okay. Is that a test of some sort? Are you trying to prove that you're smarter than me? You don't have to do this. It's already well-known fact. You're much smarter than me.
The grades speak for themselves.
DSM-5. Ooh.
They have a test
I can
for
pretend
it,
that I know what that is. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
but you don't have
yeah.
to. Is that the kind of test that you don't want to pass?
No, it's not a test. It's basically
It's like there's a line and your son's right below it. That kind of thing.
no. It's basically just kind of like a diagnostic book for
Okay.
mental disorders and such.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tisha just went for one of those.
she failed.
No, they're just like, yeah, she's autistic.
She got in.
She
walked
got
through
in.
the door and they're
She
like,
got in.
"Congratulations, ma'am."
You're in the club.
We could tell by the walk.
You know what my friend said the other day. He's like, you know what they have behind Area 1?
Area 1?
Or Area 51.
Okay.
Behind Area 51, what they're hiding there is a toothpaste that 10 out of 10 dentists recommend.
Oh, wow.
The dentist of America.
That would crumble the whole system. If people find out, they've been hiding it from us for years.
Yeah. If everybody has perfect teeth, then the dental system will go out of whack. What the hell's this dog?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just know that I'm petting the dog now.
Okay. For fuck's sake. I just got like whacked. What the hell's going on, dude?
Well, hey.
Is it in
It
camera?
smells blood.
I can't. Oh yeah, for sure. There's
Ghost. What the fuck are you doing?
fucking getting pet, bro. What do you?
Like, man, I enjoy the breeze. Like,
Yep.
this tail game is strong here.
Oh, who's that cute pup? This is great podcasting right here.
Man, I am.
Special
You
guest
guys,
one.
all you gotta do is just.
I'm so bummed
take
that
a
your camera probably didn't grab any of this. You know what I did yesterday?
just see, like, a
I don't know if
hairy
either
little penis.
It just
anybody.
looks like I'm jerking off. Oh yeah.
I don't know if either of you follow me on Instagram, but I was driving the other day and
Oh, God. Sneezed and bagged me. Wow. Oh my God.
Can you go? Can you go? Go lay down. Go into bed. Go into bed. Good boy. Just pick him up and toss him.
You think you're a linity?
Oh my god. But yeah, I put the phone on like the dash holder or whatever, and I just
Yeah.
like turned on Instagram Live, and I was like, "You guys can watch me drive my dog home."
Oh.
Really?
It was pretty
Okay.
cool. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you get anyone views or anyone watching?
There were a couple people watching.
Wait. So
like
was it just
15
on
minutes.
the dog?
Well, like I was in there too. It was just like right in the middle of the car.
Well, I was in there.
It's just
but,
like-
The dog was the star.
13 like comments like he's gonna fuck that dog, isn't he?
Oh dear God.
what was the car conversation on the way home?
Who's the good boy?
All right. Yeah.
Look at the
just
camera.
The basics. Yeah. Small talk. Fair enough.
He's just looking at himself in the
We
mirror.
didn't get into anything too serious, but by the end of the ride, I'm pretty certain that he was aware of how good he was.
And not anymore.
What new projects do you got coming up? Huh, Ghost?
Please don't jump out the window. Anyways, welcome to another episode of Hotline Hangout. I'm joined today by my buddy, my pal.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Steven.
He's got a Mustang.
Oh yeah,
That's how you know I'm
yeah.
cool.
He's got like a hot rod ripping in the background there. We're also joined by special guest Max.
Sheldrick.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys.
I try to make these as awkward as possible.
Yeah,
Mostly
But
because
the
I'm awkward
pause.
and it comes natural, but
The pause was very nice. It was nice and drawn
yeah.
out.
Steve never knows what's going to happen after that pause.
Yeah, it's hit or miss depending on if it actually goes to me or not. We learned the hard way.
Steve learned the hard way. I thought it was hilarious.
I just like, abruptly stop a mid sentence and I just look like a jackass.
I don't know what to do.
Oh boy.
You start pissing your pants.
I thought it was coming to me. I thought it was coming to me.
The cameras can't see it, but the audio picks up the drips.
Just fucking
We'll edit that out.
try it
in post.
again. Let's just try it again.
Let's start it again.
I'm going home, changing my shorts. Let's regroup. I'm sorry,
Can we do this
guys.
again tomorrow?
I'm fucking sorry.
Yeah. How have you boys been?
Shit.
Oh man. Okay, we're gonna put a counter on his camera. Every time that happens, it'll go up by one.
It's a weird cup. It just keeps sticking to the coaster.
Maybe turn the coaster upside down.
Oh, well, look at that. Okay, that's fair. You know what? That's smart.
Now it just slides and
This
slams
is
everywhere.
some high tech revelations here.
Look, I've never made the statement that I'm smart. So,
That's all right.
Neither did we. This is how we start with all of our guests.
Yeah, let's take him down to a few pegs before we let him talk.
This is our podcast.
mentally beat the shit out of them until
We have full control of the edit too, so if you're like picking your nose or some shit, you best believe it doesn't matter who's talking. That's what's gonna be.
That's what's gonna happen.
So, how's everything with everybody, Mr. Sheldrick?
Everything's good.
What brings you into this fine neck of the woods?
I'm down for some family visiting and some very fun comedy shows at Haddon's.
Oh, that's very
Yeah.
wholesome.
For our audience at home, just so you know, Max here is a comedian, and he is very funny.
Two-time winner of America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Yuck Yucks champion.
It's really, like, honestly, I don't like to talk about the America's Got Talent thing. I'm in a little bit of a tiff with them. They don't like to give me my credits, but because I never really performed there. But, whatever.
Third place winner of high school performances.
Well, that's not wrong.
And here we have it, Max Sheldrick.
Yeah. How about you, CD? What have you been up to? Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been quite a bit.
Yesterday.
Yeah, it's
Oh, jeez.
Or the
thought
day
it was
before,
like,
I don't know.
wow.
we're at the gym, getting our sweat on.
You guys were at the gym?
Yeah, can't you tell? I got my
Yeah.
specific swole on. Right.
Is this why you got the 4K?
That's exactly
Yeah.
it to get like you mentioned
The sinew muscles?
the
Make
seated
sure they
muscle
see
that are hiding.
Make sure
I
they
got
see
to-
the titty sweat for
That's
sure.
right.
Yeah.
I have to.
It's really weird. When we go to the gym with
stenciling.
Steve, it's just like there's like two little dots on his nipples. It all collects there, and that's where it protrudes.
You just sweat out of the nipples?
yeah, just holding.
Just
I'm pretty sure
It
that's
looks like
called.
somebody like took a Sharpie and just drew two little black dots right on his
Oh
black
my
shirt.
god.
I'm pretty sure that's called lactation. But yes. Hey,
Hey, I never tasted it. I just saw it.
hey, fellas.
You drink enough rock stars, your titties start working.
Eyes up here. Thank you.
I'm still gonna
Anyways,
say it.
I guess just getting into it here. I've got this picture of a blurred out, looks like a chocolate bunny on my computer screen here. Steve, do you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, it's a very scrumptious looking phallic item, as many has seen. But recently we had an actual episode that happened. It's coming out of Texas or West. Wow, I can't remember the city name. Waco.
Waco, Texas.
Yeah, Waco, Texas.
The
Basically,
Waco Tribune Herald.
there was definitely a case going on where it was a pissed off ex-husband sending some phallic delicious treats towards more or less an officer or an employee that works at a police station.
Why?
And I don't know. They said
Was he
it's-
fucking his wife?
Yeah, they said actually he was like kind of like banging his wife on the side and everything too.
Well,
Yeah.
what would you do? Like, I'd send a dick chocolate. Like, that's like a harmless.
That's pretty harmless, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not
like,
gonna
he
lie.
could've sent
It sounds like the
shit.
cop's a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah. What a jackass.
Because even with that, I guess like they're actually now prosecuting the guy who sent him this delicious treat that he wasn't too fond of.
What are they trying for? Like,
I think it's more just harassment at this point. So he's
okay, that's fair.
everything's still in open ends. Right
yeah. Well, they can go for harassment for sure, but I don't know. I still think the cop's a bit of a bitch.
Well, yeah. Well, it didn't
Hey,
You fuck a
necessarily.
man's
agree.
wife and he sends you dick chocolate. Like you didn't like the gift. Just say that.
Welcome
like,
to jail.
Like it's so funny too, and like it's so arbitrary. Like I don't know. Like would have been the same thing if he sends them treats. Like thank you for getting this brought off my hands.
Yeah.
But it kind of insinuated too. Like it came with like a little.
What,
gift
was he like
card.
holding onto that chocolate for like a long time? Like,
Yeah, that's exactly.
Thanks
like
for taking it off my hands.
How'd
Where
they
did he
find
get
out
it?
it was him?
Yeah, I
Did he
know,
just,
like, yeah,
take
that's what I was thinking.
Because he actually, like, he had a little signed card with it and everything too.
Oh well, then he
And it-
fucked himself. Like
Yeah.
that's just him being dumb.
Honestly, I maintain the belief that if you're gonna do something funny about that,
Yeah.
you need to like go wait in a bush,
Yeah.
and just watch it
you
as it
guys-
happens.
Just watch it from a
Do you
distance.
guys remember there used to be like a online service where you could send people dog shit?
Oh yeah, you
You
can
ever-
do that with dick chocolates
yeah, I
too.
was
You
gonna
can
say it was
still
like
do like I'm pretty sure there's somewhere out there that you can still send dog shit or just shit
Yeah.
to
Well,
people.
There's so many like different types of like specifics that you can send people to through the mail carrier as well, like the glitter bomb as well is like a very popular
Oh,
one.
I so badly want to get someone with that.
Dude, yeah, like it's what do they call like the glitter situation, like the herpes of the craft industry.
Oh, yeah.
just
Man,
because it's
you never get.
every-
I
yeah.
used to
once
live
you got 'em.
3 houses ago. Somebody came over and New Year's party. They sprinkled glitter everywhere, and I still find it, and I haven't lived there for like
you murdered
4
them.
houses.
still finding it in cracks and crevices on your body.
I had to like sit this person down. I took him out onto the porch.
It's
and
like
I
a
was
rat
"Please."
or a cockroach. It's like once you see one, there's probably a lot more you're not seeing.
I've been to the strip bar once. She rubbed against me, and I'm still wiping off the glitter. And that was 2012.
Fucking looking like
The
Twilight.
world ended. The year the world was supposed to end. That actually kind of reminds me. Have you seen that video of like this YouTube science guy who kind of just got pissed off that people
Yep.
kept taking his packages? So he built this thing with he built 4 cell phones into it. And it had a GPS tracker and everything. Like if you stole this package, you were fucked.
Oh.
And basically, it was a glitter bomb.
Oh, yeah.
And with like glue, glitter, and it spun around really fast.
Oh,
So it was like
yeah,
a rocket, right?
yeah.
So you take the package out, and then it knows that it's taken out or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. And then it starts spinning around, and then like glitter bombs go off.
Yeah.
4 glitter bombs go off because most people open this in their car.
yeah.
But the cameras were recording
They
and sending
were-
GPS
yeah,
back.
they
So
send,
we got to watch these thieves get their houses, their cars,
Yeah.
their garages glitter bombed, and oh man, it was so satisfying.
Oh
'Cause, like,
yeah, because they're not ready for it, and then they act like they're the victim somehow. Like,
And
get the
they're
fuck
like-
out of here,
and he was able
man!
to
For
retrieve.
real,
He
for
was
real.
He was able to retrieve it almost every time because like
Yeah.
the first thing that you do after
yeah.
something explodes glitter all over your house,
You chuck it out the house.
throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
No.
Which would have been even funnier if you put like the 4 glitter bombs
Mm-hmm.
that spun around and exploded everywhere. But then he had a delay where if they didn't, there was like another round of glitter bombs.
And wasn't
Imagine
it like,
you start cleaning it up and then it goes off
wasn't
again.
it, wasn't it also like he didn't even have to drive far to retrieve it? Like it was always like close by neighbors. It was
Yeah,
never
it was just like his like actual.
Yeah.
It was never
swarming
people
neighbors.
just like scoping an area out. It's people just on their way home.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh fuck, a package. I just want to.
He
Steal
kind
it.
of like left. He didn't even do too much work to it. He didn't leave it in like a hidden place or anything. It
Yeah.
was just like where a package would normally go.
Yeah.
And yeah, oh man, I would have sat there and watched out the window all day.
Have you guys ever had a package stolen? I've never dealt
No,
with that.
yeah, that's
So I don't
Seems
have any
like it's a
cameras or
States
anything,
thing,
so I can say that I've never seen somebody steal a
Yeah.
package, but like I've not received some packages.
Okay, all right, that's
So
fair.
have it actually been like it's been
was never a
stated
big
that it
deal.
was dropped off or it just never came to you or like
well, Nicole ordered a pair of sunglasses and we never got them.
Okay.
Said they were delivered, like there was tracking, whatever.
Yeah.
But that same day, I also got another package, so I'm like, I don't know.
okay.
But yeah, you know, Amazon gave us the money back or whatever. And actually, I send most of my packages to the post office
Yeah.
itself. So,
What would you guys do if you saw someone like trying to steal your package? Would you fuck them up? Would you? Let's be real. What would you do? Come on.
well,
But depending on what it was, like ideally, like
I
if
would
it's
air
just
my
like
grievances.
yeah, I was gonna say whatever, I'll get my money back regardless or not. Like
I'd
if it's
citizens arrest them.
Yeah.
I'd pin their ass down. Like
Did Tisha ever?
I take my belt off, tie them up.
Did
I'm
You
I'm
see-
not messing around with
like
that.
see some guy
You're
like
going to jail.
Yeah.
some guy,
That's how you say it. I'm
Let-
sorry, but you're going to jail.
Let this be a
I'm
lesson to all who try to
Listen,
steal my packages.
I'm calling 911. You're waiting here with me. You're fucking. Because
like, you guys see
your days
all
are
the-
over, Mister.
This
You're
stuff,
done.
everything surrounding us right now came in the mail, and you know, if somebody's like walking out of here with any of this stuff, like I'll fight you for it. Like I don't care. This is expensive stuff going on. I don't usually order.
Did Tisha ever tell you about what happened when her bike got stolen? Her e-bike.
wow, really? Was that here?
Tisha had an e-bike.
Yeah, Tisha.
How old are you guys?
Where was this actually sold from?
Look, it's
Well,
Toronto.
I got an electric scooter right over there. I don't know if
She
you
had
noticed.
she had like an e-bike that it got. She was just doing Uber on it, just like a side gig, and she went. She was trying to cross the road, and she just realized that she forgot the keys in the thing. And as she's coming back, some guy just hops on, drives off with it, and she's gone. He's gone within like a few seconds.
Wow.
I drive her. She calls me right away. I'm like, "Why are you calling me? Call the fucking cops! Like, what are you doing?" So we call the cops. We let them know, and I try biking around to see if I can possibly find it.
Yeah.
Like it's a lost
Max
cause
is
at that
biking
point.
around. He gets off
But-
his bike to
was gonna
investigate.
say-
And somebody steals his bike.
Someone steal your bike too.
Motherfucker! Can't get your brake.
Everything was there besides the
At that
chain.
point,
Either way.
I'm gonna.
Either way, the next day, a friend of mine, he was coming over to film the rest of the sketch that we were doing.
Yeah.
And he both him and I had drank the night before. He's like, man, I'm hungover. Like, can we just push it back till 12? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So he's coming over for 12 o'clock, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna grab coffee. Do you want anything? I'm like, fine. Yeah, okay, just grab me a large coffee. Whatever the order was.
Yeah.
He goes to Tim Hortons, and he sees this bike sitting right out front, and he's like, that looks like Tisha's bike. And he sends me a picture, and it's
Yeah.
like a block away from my house. And like, granted, it's like 8 to 10 blocks from where it was stolen.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's like, it's probably not it. And he's like, he just sends it to me just in case. And I'm like, that's the fucking bike. So I immediately throw on my shoes. I run out of the house. And by the time I get to the Tim Hortons, it's gone. But then I look around the corner, and she had, like, because he had asked her about, this woman was on the bike. She's like an older woman, kind of like just hobo-ish kind of looking.
Okay.
And he starts asking, like, hey, where'd you get this bike from? And she's like, I just got it like a few months ago. I from a friend of mine. And he's like, oh, yeah, I know a friend of mine who had like a bike just like this. And like it had identifying damage.
Yeah.
Like it was our bike. It was totally ours. Like it was clearly.
Yeah. Okay.
And I see her at the Wendy's and down the way. And like I didn't see her, but I run into the place. I'm like, who the fuck just parked that bike out front? They're like, we don't know. And I just go outside and wait for someone to come out. And she's like, hey, so someone stole your bike, eh? Someone stole a bike of yours? And I'm like, yeah, this bike. And she's like, well, not this bike. This one bike's mine. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. This is my bike. I know you bought this within the next. Either you stole it or you bought it within the last hour. And she's like, no, this isn't. This is my bike. I just spent $200 on it. I'm like, well, that's a fucking deal because it's usually about $2,000. And I'm like, all right, well, here, I'm calling the cops right now. Like, either you can wait around and wait for them, or you can give me the keys right now and you can walk out of here. And she's like, fine, I'll wait for the cops. I'm like, all right. And she's like, they're not going to be able to do anything, right? They're not going to be able to do anything if you don't have a receipt. I'm like, I have a receipt a block away. It's on the way right now. And so the cops are on the way, and she's like, all right, here, one sec. I'm just wait right here. I'm gonna go for a smoke. I'll be right back. I'm like, you're not going fucking anywhere with the keys. Are you fucking nuts? Like, this is my charger. These are my Like, I open up the back portion of it, and I'm like, this is all my shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Your license
Like, you just
falls
bought it
out.
from someone. You just bought it from someone who's trying to get rid of it. Get the fuck out of here. Give me my keys. And she's like, all right, you know what? I believe it's yours. Here. And she hands me the keys, and she's like, just stop swearing so much. And I'm like, get the fuck. Oh, God. Really? That's the leg you're going to lean on? That's your moral stance?
Wow.
Fucking profanity? Go fuck yourself.
Should have gave her.
I'm about to shut Max off. Oh my God, so much profanity. He used that one fuck word.
Quite a lot.
We got 17 times. Let's check.
That
the
reminds me,
counter.
Max was saying like, oh, he was a block away, and he showed up at this lady's house.
Yeah.
Like, I might not even be wearing pants or underwear. Like,
Oh, yeah. Buddy.
it's fight or flight at that point. I would have rushed right.
so
out.
funny.
I threw on shorts, threw on shoes, and I was out the door. Like, the serendipity of that, like, actually finding the person within 24 hours of it being stolen in Toronto, that's next to impossible. Like, that was...
Somebody broke in my house a couple years ago. Well, like 10 years ago now. They stole laptops, computers, all of my alcohol, pretty much everything of value to me. And
Wow.
I had
Renter's insurance?
No, I had on my MacBooks. I had
Porn?
Apple. Well,
Yes.
aside from other things, I had the Apple login protection or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like nobody could get into these damn laptops, and I put like a theft thing out for them. So if you don't have the password, you can't even turn the damn laptop on.
Ooh.
And then 4 years after it got stolen, I get an email and it's like, hey, somebody's trying to log into this shit. And I know like now that it pings, they have my phone number.
Yeah.
And then I just ignore it and I'm like, yeah, whatever. 3 days later, I get a text message and some guy's like, hey, are you selling an iPhone right now? And I'm like, no. And he's like, well, I got this message. And he shows me a screenshot of like my message, that my SOS message on the damn laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, and I'm like, well, where did you get this and how much did you pay for it? And he's like, well, I just grabbed it at this old lady's house. Here's the address. And I'm like, yeah, my house was broken into 4 years ago. Somebody stole this and you just bought it. He paid $70 for it. So I said, yeah, sure. I'll come drive out to you. It was in like Leamington or Gainesville or some county city or whatever.
Okay.
And I gave him $70 back. Got the laptop. He gave me the address, all of the messages. Like, this guy was super cooperative.
Wow. Yeah.
I emailed the person who was in charge of my case back and like never replied to me. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. But like, cool. I got my Mac Mini back. I was like, oh, I wonder if my MacBook Air is just sitting on some whatever TV dusty ass. So he's got like a tube TV and like a high tech laptop there. And I'm just
I was gonna say, like, it would have been funny if that guy just kind of just ratted out his own grandma or something like that. He's like, I'm not taking the heat for this. She's old enough. She lived her life. What's a few years of prison on her?
Jesus. So they did nothing, eh?
They did. The police?
Yeah.
Oh no, the police like came. There were fingerprints. Somebody came in through the window.
Oh no, I'm saying like when you reported that.
No, yeah. Oh, because like apparently that police officer doesn't work. The Windsor police office anymore. And so like my only contact, I'm just like, well, what do I do from here, right? Like, you know, I'm an adult. They didn't teach me how to file my taxes in school, and they sure as hell did not teach me how to follow up on a police report.
He just like comes in, he's like going through the whole questioning situation. He's like, man, you're tough out of luck. We got fingerprints, but we ain't gonna do anything.
You got fingerprints and address, name,
They
everything.
went and found the guy.
He's like, unless we got a little bit of semen on the sample on the crime scene.
He licked the
Look, we
window.
need a signed confession from them to be able to prosecute at this point. I'm sorry.
Actually
Do you
got a
guys
call.
do any work here?
I got a call from the police a couple of months after that happened, and they were like, "Do you know this guy?" They gave me a name. It's like Arnold something. And I'm like, "Yeah, I have no idea. Like the only Arnold I know is Hey Arnold," and they were like, "Yeah, probably not him." And then like a day later, there was like a SWAT team outside of my house, and they were like breaking into my neighbor's house. Like that was Arnold.
Yeah. Oh.
And I was like, oh, I guess I do know an Arnold. But yeah, it was like this like weird party house. There were like old people there that like sit on the porch and like smoke cigarettes all day. But then at night there'd be like teenagers in the back, underage drinking, and I'm like, what kind of house is this?
Oh boy. So it's like a pedophile ring, or what was it?
Neighbors.
I think it was a crack house.
No.
Yeah,
A trap house.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
In Windsor, Ontario. What?
Yeah,
A
no,
trap
that's-
house here?
It's pretty rare to find them, but when you do, they just kind of, light up.
Fuck. I miss this city so much. I just miss my neighborhood. It was so shitty.
I don't miss my neighbors.
It was so fucking shitty.
He took me on like a 2-hour tour, just driving around to like these like really like abandoned areas. He's like, man, I miss all of this.
so much.
Like, let
it
this
was
sink
so
in.
cheap. It was so fucking
Let's just soak this in.
perfectly cheap. I remember the first day I bought my Fiat 500 and it got broken into.
Man, apparently,
Good
I
times.
was going to say, speaking of that, apparently Windsor is actually coming up with like a small militia of people getting together, like a bunch of like Facebook moms and stuff like that, getting together.
They're
to
fucked.
Kind of,
They-
but no, hear this out. Like they're getting together to basically combat the break-ins of people like smashing into all like these like luxury looking cars and everything too. Like, all like the drug problems and
I
everything.
don't
that's
think they
happening out here.
realize what they're getting into.
But yeah, and, like,
really don't think the suburb moms know what's going to happen.
It's so funny.
Well, wait, Drew Dilkin's car just got broken into. Like the mayor of Windsor, his car got broken into like a week ago. They found the person within like a day. So if you want your shit getting taken care of, then you need to be the mayor, and they'll find anybody who did anything to you.
Is that the mayor's name?
Drew Dilkins? Yeah.
Oh my god!
The cops.
See, that's the thing. That's why one of the reasons why I had to get out of Windsor, because like the bar for fame is so fucked in this city. Because I guarantee so many people don't know that, but everyone knows the homeless guy named Featherhat guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, well, he has a beer named after him. He's pretty
right.
popular.
Yeah.
He's not homeless though.
dude, he was actually just featured on at Crosshead.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
There's a T-shirt, and they give him stuff for free. He gets a free coffee every day.
Exactly. He's the most famous guy in the city for having a feather hat.
He doesn't have a feather hat anymore.
What the fuck does he have?
So let me tell you a story.
What does he have?
a great
he has a feather
personality.
hat. It's a different feather hat now. So get this. I was at Craft
So he
Head.
has a feather hat?
It's a different one though.
He
He lost his feathers. He had to start over. I'm not kidding.
Like getting stripped of your rank? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Pretty much. He did. He got stripped of his feathers. But get
Turn in
this.
your feathers. You're fucking done.
I was at Craft Heads a while ago.
You'll never beg for change in Windsor again.
Oh my god, I just think that meme where it's just like you put a feather in your hat, then you call it macaroni. He's like, that's cool and everything, man, but we're actually really worried about you.
Okay, so get this. I was at Craft Heads a little while ago. Feather hat guy comes in. There's like a party of American people in there. One of them's like, hey, can I buy your hat for $50? Mm-hmm. And he's like, absolutely, $50 American? I'll take it. He gives him his hat. Feather hat guy, fucks off. And there's this like American guy wearing feather hat guy's hat. And I walk in there and I'm like, he's like, oh man, I just bought this hat off this guy for $50. And I'm like, was it feather hat guy? And he's like, yeah, I think so. And I'm like, dude, you can't take that out of Canada. You're not taking this home with you. Like that's Windsor's.
I don't think you really realize what you've done.
Yeah, no. And the guy, I gave him the spiel. And like, I have never talked to Feather Hat Guy. I know of him through like legend and myth. And my story was so compelling that the hat that he had just paid $50 for, he gave it back to me.
God.
And I put it on and I took a picture with it. And then we went and found Feather Hat Guy and gave him his hat back. And I'm like, hey, it's your lucky day. You get your hat and $50 US. This guy's loaded now. He bought a house. He bought a car.
That's Windsor fucking
all
making it big.
all with that 50 USD. The exchange rate.
I wasn't about to allow those guys out of here with Feather Hat Guy's hat. Hell no.
Bought a $200,000 house with that down payment.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh,
that's legendary, man. I didn't know that it was an actual thing.
Oh, I have
that
a picture.
happened.
I gotta find it,
Yeah.
but yeah, I wore a Feather Hat Guy's hat. He has no idea that I did.
You should make that the thumbnail for this episode.
Just a picture of him stealing from Craft Head Image because I think they just recently posted a picture of him on Instagram. Yeah.
What is he doing at Craft Heads? They just have a beer of it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you-
give him
you got-
coffee every day.
Yeah. Plus free tap.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he's not homeless. What are you guys talking about? How do you know he's not homeless?
We just talked about this. He put down the payment on a house.
Yeah, you got
Steven, I'm trying to ask you. How do you guys where's the proof?
Well, you know he's a psychologist, right?
Shut the fuck up. That is not, there is so many.
Post the Windsor Star article.
This is the thing. He has so many different theories about him that there's no way to know exactly what he is.
That's why
One of them was
Someone
me.
thinks
A
he's
legend.
actually just imaginary. He's like that Shazam movie that everyone. He doesn't actually exist. It's weird.
just see him in the bushes, like doing bird noises and like metamorphs and just like
He's
takes
trying to
off.
collect more
When we
feathers.
used to work at Suth, I like walked from one side of the building. I looked out the window, like from the 10th floor. I looked out, I could see him from over there, and then I walked to the other side, and I looked out the window, and I could see him over there. I'm like, he's fucking everywhere. Oh my
funny.
god.
It's really fast.
Yeah, he's quick.
This one time I saw him in
Cardio is
McDonald's.
insane. Oh fuck.
It's like 6.
Is
One time I saw him in McDonald's and he was trading a hat, a toque for mittens. And I was just like, you know what? Why don't you guys keep
I'm
your hat
really
and your
trying
toque?
to
And I will
figure
buy
out why
another
you guys don't
set.
think he's homeless. This is,
No, he might have been.
he's
in like
trying
the
to trade
early
his hat for
2000s.
mittens.
No, not a hat. a
He's
toque.
not. He's not.
You know why he wanted to
homeless.
trade his toque for mittens though? Because he already has a hat.
There you go. He still lives by like the 18th century law where you just like trade instead of like pay money for goods. It's just
Okay,
like
can we
trading
at
value.
least agree that he's not doing well? He's well known for not doing well.
He's
I don't know
not.
what you're talking about, man.
Fuck you guys.
He's doing great.
Fucking
He's got
hate
more
you.
money than me.
That's right. Did you see that?
I have a student loan.
Didn't you see that chrome belt buckle?
He's got 50 USD.
Yeah, well,
Exchange rate's been crazy lately.
probably held on to it, collected interest. Mm-hmm. Guy probably has like his own like network of like financial institutions working for him right now. Like,
He's investing in weed stocks. I bet that's what he did.
yeah, well,
All his
weed stocks is
change.
only stocks you could put $50 in and get $100 the next day.
So there's Feather Hat Guy. Is Baby Hands still around?
Oh yeah, I seen him.
What's
creeping around
Baby
the
Hands?
streets.
Baby Hands, the giant black guy with the tiny hands who asked for change.
Yeah.
Give him a quarter. It looks like he won a medal for the Tiny Olympics.
Oh my god!
It's amazing because what does he call it? It's called because I think like Letitia was talking about this before, and he was like talking about he was going around making his paper or whatnot, and he's just like out there asking. For
He's not
quarters.
making paper. He's making metal. He does not make paper.
But yeah, he was just going around talking about that, and after I think I remember had one encounter where it was like, hey, he was like, you got 25 cents? Girl's like, oh, sorry, I only got a dime or something like that. He's like, I want that shit. He just like walks away. I'm just like, all right. At least like he has a little bit of standards.
I was in Detroit one time, and this guy, he was like, hey, do you guys have any change? And I was like, no, we don't have any cash on us at all. And he's like, oh, well, do you want to buy a joint? And I was like, we only have Canadian. And he's like, get out of here. Did not want Canadian. Our dollar was worth more then, though.
I was in Windsor, I was in Toronto, and I was just waiting for a show, and I saw this woman who was asking for change, and she asked this guy, and he's like, stop asking me for change. I'm also homeless.
Oh, boy.
Change, money. I don't know. Have you heard about that new local bar, whatnot, just opened up down Ottawa Street?
The esports bar?
Yeah. EZY Mode, I think it's called.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's pronounced...
It's called
EZY
EZY
Mode.
Mode, yeah.
with
EZY.
EZY.
Have you guys checked it out at all?
I haven't checked it out, but I'm interested in it. So basically, EZY Mode is a esports lounge bar, but it's like a sports bar, but instead of sports, they play esports.
Yeah.
If they don't, are they not doing? They're not doing VR.
Oh, I'm sure they got something in hand.
Like, I don't know, because like from the article that I was kind of going through, it seems like they're more heavily based on PC type versus console.
And those places,
but console has VR too.
Well, yeah,
or
yeah,
PC,
well, yeah,
sorry, has VR.
Well, yeah, what do they have? The
Oculus Rift.
Oculus Rift, yeah. But
there's the Vive.
I think they're more into more or
Vive.
less like the competitive portion of the. I
Yeah,
guess,
but it's
entertainment
also
itself.
just like go there, down a few brewskis,
Yeah.
watch people play League of Legends.
Oh yeah, that's right. They also have like their serving liquor
Oh yeah,
license or
it's a
whatnot.
bar for sure.
oh yeah,
Man, imagine
most of those
see-
places are like they have to serve liquor to be able to stay afloat. There's no
Oh
way
yeah,
they can.
Well, because they charge $5 an hour for like a regular
yeah.
computer, and I think it was like $7 an hour for like a high spec computer.
Yeah, yeah.
And like even the regular computers are pretty high spec, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's like covered in like sports or like TVs everywhere, and
Yeah.
projectors. People are like
Come
they're
and
coming in there
cheers.
for the 3D 360 experience on Pornhub.
They've got like the premium package in the back as well.
You know, that
It's like
actually
a
kind
little
of is
shady
crazy.
place.
Like
we got
there's-
a machine that'll jerk you off back there. I don't like to advertise it, but it's there.
And it's just a homeless man sitting on a stool.
It's feather hat guy. Whoa!
gotta make
He's fucking everywhere.
gotta make a living somehow.
Yeah, I wonder though. They're like serving liquor and stuff, and like even myself, like when I'm at my computer over there, like
Yeah.
I'll put my beer over here.
Okay.
And I don't even have too much going on that desk there. I'm just like, I'd rather not buy a new keyboard.
Yeah.
I'd have to take apart my whole desk to put a new keyboard in there.
Oh yeah, I wonder if like they have a limitation. 'cause-
Yeah, what's going on? Because like in the picture, they got somebody with a Gatorade with a lid on it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, what do? They give you like those twist off
spill-proof
Molsons,
containers.
like
Yeah. Oh, with the little twisty
the
tops.
little
Yeah.
aluminum can ones.
Those places, I don't know. They tend to pop up. I've seen at least, I think like 5 of them pop up in Toronto, and they just go down within a year.
Yeah, unless it's just kind of just like a
Like it has to.
laundering type situation, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that would make the most sense because like
There was
they're not high in demand at all.
no. Most people who want to play video games usually will have either a console and they'll save up for a PC.
Well, it's about LAN though, right? Like you can play them like with people.
Yeah,
at the
but
same
not
time.
many people. Like most people who do that, I don't know. I don't think there's that big of a market in Windsor for that.
Well, yeah, because
to
like you
support
gotta
that.
keep in mind as well. Most of these people who are going to be like playing these types of games, like they're not. I don't want to say like they're going to be like more or less in a competition type situation. Like they're going to be more or less isolated and secluded. Like
Surprisingly enough, those places would usually like try to build up business by getting an open mic going there. So I'd show up there and
Yeah.
like even
Max is like, I'll save your business.
no, I stopped going to them after like maybe 4 tries. I
Got
was
like a bunch of
"There's
nerds looking at their phones.
No, it's a bunch of nerds playing video games on the computer, and there's fucking just degenerates talking at the back. Like it's no one
them.
does well there. No one's having a good time. So,
know, I
but
feel-
that's the thing. There's only a group of like maybe 4 guys in there, and like 2 of them buy a beer. I'm like, how is this place staying afloat? And then it shuts down. It's like, oh, I guess it
well, yeah,
doesn't
because
stay
like
afloat.
the amount that they're actually probably like paying for like electricity, the actual rental space, and everything else to keep like inventory as
Oh,
well
yeah.
for replacements and everything too.
You know what they
And,
might
like,
be
they're-
doing? Mining while their computers aren't
Oh
in
yeah,
use.
that's right. They could
Just
also
kidding.
be
That
doing,
wouldn't
like,
pay the electricity bill.
mining
much?
like a Bitcoin or whatnot.
Oh wait, what? How does mining work? I don't understand this.
The computer does math and then tries to crack a code, and once every so often to crack a code, you get a Bitcoin, and it's shared by all the people who put in some work. So if I paid 1,000 people $1,000, but then like one of the computers did 50% of the work, then they get 500, and then everybody else gets like a few cents after that or whatever.
Oh my god,
it's interesting. You used to be lucrative, not so much anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but yeah, because I think like what they're still going for too with this like a whole place is like they wanna pair up with like the colleges and universities here too for like the whole esport type situation, so they can actually start doing major competitions with like their name and flags and stuff like that.
Well, if they're ambitious, then they can maybe do it. Like they have to promote it, because that's one of the biggest things that that fucks up anything new in Windsor is that they don't promote. Yeah. People don't know about these things. Like,
well, this was in the Windsor Star once, and I haven't heard about it since then.
Like, did you guys know how?
We're talking about
did you know that there was like 4 weed lounges in Windsor?
Not anymore.
At one time.
Really? In Windsor?
At 4 of them at one time. And people maybe knew about one of them. Mm-hmm. And then they're wondering, like, one. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. They wonder why
it fucking...
Yeah. It just shuts down because they don't... Well, not...
No. That one shut down because it was illegal.
No, now they fall under a new jurisdiction since the weed... is now legal, but it falls under falls
like the health unit.
No, falls under Health Act of the Smoke Free Ontario. Mm-hmm. It's for all employees. That's what it falls under.
If you're going into a weed lounge, like you should assume that you might be breathing in secondhand smoke.
It's for the it falls under the workers.
If you're gonna work at a weed lounge, usually it's just the person running it.
Most people don't give a shit.
The person who owns it.
Most people don't give a shit about it. That's my home club in Toronto right now. It used to be like you could smoke weed in there. It's called the Underground. It used to be that you could smoke weed. It'd get hotboxed. It was amazing. It was packed out. But then she got hit with like a huge warning and kiboshed that whole thing.
Oh wow!
Now it's still a comedy club, but
is it as funny?
It's not as funny as
now. No, it's still good. Like it's still good. It just has to change its marketing. That's all.
Yeah. Smoke outside before you come in.
They do.
You'll have a great time.
The people who are there, they do. It's just, it's a bummer. I liked it when it was hotboxed.
It's even worse now because like you can't even smoke in like a shelter outside. Like if they put down like a tent or something to like smoke under, a lot of times you can't smoke in those either.
Wow.
So yeah, it's annoying.
There used to be this guy called Jim the Dab Man.
What the hell? What kind of name is that?
I don't know if you've ever...
Is there a story behind that name first?
Do you know what dabs are?
Dabs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
When
concentrated...
you put your arm like this.
Shut the fuck up. Cool.
He's just sitting there in the club. He's just like throwing his arms up.
Nobody likes you, Shane. I'm sorry. But a dab is just concentrated THC that you have to heat up this metal bowl and then rub the THC on, like the concentrate on there, and it vaporizes it. And it will fuck your day up entirely.
For a good 30 minutes.
So Jim the Dab Man was notorious for sitting in the front row with a dab rig and a blowtorch and a whole lot of dabs that he's willing to share. And for new comics who are like just eager to perform at these shows, and he'll just spot them and he'll know. He'll be like he'll just rush them with a dab. And there's so many comics who like they were funny, and now you don't see them anymore. They had one fucking encounter where Jim the Dab Man. There's a guy named Kyle, fucking hilarious. Never see him anymore. He's gone.
Mountain Dew Kyle.
A friend of mine named Andrew. He smoked it on stage. He said he thinks he finished his set. He went into his car and threw up everywhere.
I did a dab one time, and it was like probably the smallest.
Did you guys hear that? You guys might have heard that. Never mind. Sorry.
Max farted.
Sorry, you did it
on an episode of Hotline Hangout.
God, can you give me the fucking the echo? Oh, that's actually pretty dope. All right, I'm sorry, I didn't have anything planned for that. Okay, so what happened when you did this?
So I did a dab one time. It was probably like the smallest dab that anybody's ever done.
Okay,
and I held a piece of pizza for 35 minutes and just like looked directly ahead of me. I don't know what was there, but I totally forgot everything that was going on around me. I thought I was dying.
Your hand.
And yeah, I don't know. I was like,
you should have eaten the pizza. That might have helped you out.
No, after about 35 minutes, I was like, oh, I'm holding this pizza. And then I ate it and I was like,
man.
Yes.
Jesus.
And then never did one again. It's scary.
First time I ever smoked a dab, like I'd been smoking a lot of weed at the time, so I was like, "Fuck it, a dab? That's not gonna be." It was at one of the weed lounges in Windsor, and this was the payment that they were gonna give us for doing the show. They're like, "You get a free dab." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, all right, I'll try it out."
So wait.
That's awesome.
How much does like a dab usually cost? I just want to get a perspective of your
I've never
payment.
paid.
I know. I was about to say,
yeah.
how much does a dab cost? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure if anybody is offering you a dab, like that's
yeah.
how you get them.
It's definitely not equal to what the work we put in.
Okay.
For sure. Like a dab, maybe like a couple bucks.
Let's say
maybe
$5. Like
But,
one
like,
dab, one joint. equal
one dab,
price.
like a solid dab, has the potential to put you on your fucking ass. Like it has enough THC of like
Have
one
you seen
full.
the dab tournaments where the guys take a dab that's like this long and they just like rip it the whole thing? Have you seen those?
No,
I
but
did like maybe a
believe it.
tiny drop, and then I saw those guys do that, and I'm like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
they must not have like functioning brains, because like I thought I was gonna die the whole time after I smoked. Like I legitimately thought that I was dying. I was like, get me out of this situation.
Yeah,
but
the
also
Tom.
you don't want to move. I didn't want to leave where I was because I was like, this probably isn't safe. Like not only am I not
movement?
good to
For
like
sure not safe. What are you talking about?
I shouldn't drive a car. I shouldn't stand. Like, I shouldn't walk to the washroom right now. I should hold it in. If I move, I might die. Like, that's what I thought. And these guys, they did, like, at least 500 times more dab than I did. And I'm just like, how? And then they had a conversation and interview after. Like, this was like an episode of like somebody's YouTube show. And I'm like, what?
Buddy, it's
that was Carl. He's dead.
It's a real mind fuck. Like when they paid me my dad,
When they paid me my dab.
they gave me I smoked it, and the guy was like, how often do you do dabs? I'm like, first one, and he's like, oh. I
Sorry.
gave you like,
We're in Canada.
It's like I gave you two. I didn't know.
You were a comedian. I thought
what?
you knew.
What's gonna happen? He's like, I don't know. It's like, so I go and
We'll bump
sit
your
down.
set.
And so what happened was that it was a stand-up show, and then it was an improv show after that. I'm like, you know what? I'll just sit. I'll relax. I'll wait till I sober up, and I'll watch the improv show. And it ruined improv for me. I can
Really?
never watch improv ever again.
Wow.
Live. Because you
love
ever hear,
improv.
you ever hear like a troupe of comedians is only as funny as their least funny member. That's
Okay.
It's only as funny as their weakest link.
Ooh, that's interesting. We'll talk about that after.
Oh, for sure. It's so they go on stage and they aren't funny because their least funny member is not funny. He's a fucking pretentious cunt. He's like, they had a suggestion box where they like asking people to put suggestions in, and he's like looking through them. He's like, that one's dumb, and he throws it off, and it's like everyone's just getting like, wow. Well, now the whole interactive portion of the show is gone. Like, why are we invested in, like, now you just want to do the ones that you think are good?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Max
Improv.
is just upset because in all capital letters while he was on his dab, he wrote "not funny," and that's what they threw away.
No, what was it? I wrote a suggestion that a car theft gone wrong because you don't know stick. And they're like, oh, I guess I can't steal this car. Why not? Well, I don't know stick. And then they just moved on. I'm like, oh, you guys suck. You guys are terrible. You guys fucking. At one point they started doing this mimic thing where it's like they talk and like the guy next to them would try to match what he's saying, like try to guess, and it'd be. And I started getting all fucked up, and I just started shouting, I'm like, I can't handle this! My friend was like, you gotta shut the fuck up right now. It might have just been I was being a nuisance. I don't know. It was a lot.
To be a fly in a
Max
wall
was
there,
being
man.
a shithead, and he's like, you know
it
what, you
shut
guys
off-
suck.
It turned on. Basically, what it did to my brain is it turned on shouting and shut off my inner dialogue. It was just. It was a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. I was going to say, I listen to a lot of stand-up improv podcasts, And I don't know, man. So there's this one called "Hello from the Magic Tavern," and it's basically this guy
I bet
Arnie.
they suck. I'm sorry.
No. So what happened?
So cynical.
The gist of the story is he went through the drive-thru at a Burger King in Chicago, and he fell through a magical portal that led him into the land of Foon, where he's joined every week by his co-host Usador the Wizard, and then Usador has a name that takes about a minute to say, and he says it every episode, and then Chunt, the talking badger. And I don't know, man. Like they all play different characters and they like work off each other. But I like you said that the improv troupe is only as good as their weakest member, and I'm just thinking to myself like, shit. Well, which one of them is the weakest? I think they're all pretty strong. They all provide their own. I don't know if like one is better, as in
That's
like
the
more
thing,
funny.
like,
but
I say that it ruined improv for me, but I've seen good improv since then. Like there are some
like
really
kids in the hall too. Like which one's the weak member there? Like do you have an opinion about that?
That's the
like,
thing.
I don't know.
You do see there's definitely like sketches that are weaker. They have it could just be the right, like it could be the idea, it could be any number of things that it just wasn't as funny as certain things. But if it's a good troupe, then that's just it. But they had like
It's gotta be it.
They had a bad group of people. Like there was one game that they played where they had to act out each person had a part to play for Beauty and the Beast, and then the audience had to vote their least favorite person out. And so they'd keep running through. They had to keep it to like a minute to summarize the entire movie.
Wow.
And so the one guy got voted out, like the non-funny guy. He got voted out right away, and he threw this hissy fit.
What?
Like he was visibly
Well,
like.
I was gonna say, like, if you knew
like
what you're going into prior to it, then how are you gonna?
yeah, he
Like
was
imagine if like Ringo Starr just like stood up at a concert and just fucked off.
I'm not really proud of this.
It was fucking, and it made it put a bad
That
vibe in the
sucks.
room.
Yeah, I hate it when people have like a bad attitude. Like you got to be
it's
able to
so
get
weird,
ripped on
yeah.
at like any and all times.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
it's kinda
especially
like-
when you're performing.
So it was almost kind of like let's say like the last comic standing, where you kind of like vote your favorites and stuff like that, and they get to stay. And so it's just like
it's
gradually they make their way to.
I don't know, like when especially once you get when you're that high and you're watching a show, so I can probably.
Oh yeah, no, I totally took this out of context a little bit. Max was on a dab.
Max
Two.
was on
He was on double dabs.
2 dabs.
But it's also just like when you have a bad experience, like that ruined improv for me to an extent. But it's like my friend, he got married. You remember Adam and Steph? They got married on a reality TV show.
Yeah.
Ruined reality TV shows for me absolutely entirely.
Why did you just think they were like super annoying on it? Or
No, it's just you could see everything that's orchestrated. Like all drama is orchestrated behind the scenes.
That
were
was
they like normally like a totally like nonchalant,
No.
easygoing couple? And
No,
then-
God, no. But like they just they make it worse than it has to be. They made it into an ordeal when it could have just been like a headache.
Okay, like what do you want for dinner?
No, it's like they at the wedding they said that there's the film crew told the bar staff that they're underage, that the bride's underage when she's not. And she's like, I don't have my I'm in a wedding dress. I didn't bring a purse. I didn't bring all this shit. And they're like, we hired you. They were so. It was such a.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
That's so annoying.
they deliberately just like start shit just to kind of get something from it,
Dude,
Like get a
Slice
reaction.
TV says yes to like the dress and cocaine. Like they fucking gave us a lot of drugs. They gave us a lot of booze, drugs, just for the bachelor party. All they did was follow us around and just keep ordering us shots. And at one point, Adam just was thrown up in the street, and there's like 2 cameras on him. Like what the
Both angles.
Yeah, of course.
Boom mic
Like
and
that's
all
what
too.
they want. Like I could kind of like understand like from a TV perspective,
Yeah.
but also like if they made that happen,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
it's called My Teenage Wedding. So yeah, it
That
was
was,
destined to be a shit show.
was she 18
Yeah.
or 19?
They were in their teens, 18 and 19.
Oh wait, so she wasn't of age.
Every single.
was this in Quebec?
No, it was
No.
here in Ontario. So yeah,
Dang.
they were still underage.
They were
if it was
19.
Yeah, it would have
She
to be
was 19 they were both 19 by the time the wedding.
She pulls her cell phone out of her wedding dress breast pocket. Doesn't have her ID.
Yeah, that was that your first like TV debut you had there going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
We have to cue it too. We have to cue it to the actual. I'll find the footage for you so you can play it.
Oh, it's
We'll
yeah,
record
no,
it.
it's
It's going to be played.
it's My Teenage Wedding episode 1.
The pilot.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I
we
will
were the
be
pilot.
watching this.
Young, Crazy, and in Love. There's no one from that first season that are still in together. No one.
Amazing.
No.
Why would you? Yeah, I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Sure.
Either way.
Anyways, it's been a slice talking to you boys.
Dude,
Yeah,
thank you
per
for having me
usual.
on, guys. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
You're
anytime.
most welcome, buddy. Yeah. So, Shelly,
Yeah.
what's your plugs, boy?
Oh,
can
yeah.
we
You guys can check me out on YouTube, Plus Time Comedy. We are just on a little bit of a hiatus from releasing sketches. We're retooling for a new serialized series that me and a boss, Wahab, are going to be doing. I got a new podcast coming out that's going to be called The Upswing with Max Sheldrick. You can check me out on that, plus Ready, Set, Survive, which is going to be releasing within the next week or so. As well as
Is that a podcast? Ready, Set, Survive?
Ready, Set, Survive.
Okay.
It's a survival podcast. We just do scenarios where it's like, zombie apocalypse. How do you survive? 3 comedians that we just break down our what our survival scenarios, and then we poke holes in each other, and then we try to figure out who's the winner and make the best survival plan possible.
That sounds awesome.
And that you can also check me out on Instagram at I think it's Max Sheldrick now. I think it's just at Max Sheldrick to be very basic.
I don't even think we have time for our plugs now, Stevie.
That's right, you little.
Hey, this guy showed us up. He's got 3 podcasts. What the fuck? Well, never again. No.
Also, follow me on it. Follow me
You
on
follow him
Instagram
on
just for
Pornhub at Max Sheldrick.
And if there's any of your listeners that are in Toronto, then first Thursday of each month, you can check out the show at Free Times Cafe on College Street, which we bring just perfectly. We just try to build the best lineup we possibly can for $15 at the door or $10 online. It's a great show. This last show that we had, it was our anniversary show. We packed it out with nothing but headliners. It was fucking amazing.
Perfect.
Sorry, I missed that.
Yep.
Yeah, man. It sucks being a 4-hour drive away.
Yeah,
Well,
it's too far.
you
away.
guys can check out the show tonight at Haddon's.
Maybe you can get lost again. I'll have to pick your ass up from Toronto again.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to look for Max, but
Trying
Stevie.
to find that headlining show.
where can our lovely listeners find us?
Our little lovely lovelies. You could definitely hit us up on Instagram at podcast.
Our little lovely.
Lovely. Stevie's trying to piece adjectives together. He knows like 3.
Lovely lovelies.
Our little lovely
That's what it
lovelies.
necessarily comes down to. But yeah, you can definitely hit us up at Instagram.com at Hotline Hangout Podcast, followed by our Twiddle handle at
Twiddle?
Twiddle handle. My Twiddle handle at Hotline Hangout. Y'all are dicks.
You flustered.
You can find Stevie on Twiddle. Your boy Muffy.
Go check me out the Twiddle handle.
I see how this is.
I'm sorry. I love you. I love your
Okay,
nipples.
Stevie, where can they find us?
Moment of silence.
I'm not editing.
And definitely feel free to always hit us up on youtube.com at Hotline Hangout.
I think that was all of them.
Yeah. Well, also, too, if they want to definitely be in contact with us a little bit more at Gmail, you can definitely reach us at hotlinehangout@gmail.com.
Yeah, send us some questions. Just send us something. We'll put it on the show. Literally anything. We'll do it.
We got the viewers.
Except for like
Fuck yeah.
some things.
we got the viewers' choice. We got Mr. Sheldrick here with us due to popular demand.
Thank you very much.
We're waiting. Anyways, thank you for listening to another episode of Hotline Hangout. We'll see you next week. Have a good one. Peace.